I would have been about 7 or 8. They used to hold pet parades and fetes and all those sort of things at the hospital. And at this one time with the pet parade, I brought my little dog, and we did our stint. Then, of course, I'd lost interest in it, and my father had to go home with the dog. Because all the lodge children were there. We would have afternoons. My father, being a bad asthmatic, was in hospital quite a lot, and he could only have so many weeks, might have been a couple of months, in the hospital in 1 year. If he used up his time, he had to go to the base hospital, St Vincent's as it was called. St Vincent's Hospital was a name that the Nowakowski sisters used, but as the years went by, we found that we had not registered the name, and there was already a St Vincent's in Toowoomba. They were registered, so that we had to back off. The hospital has changed in so many different ways. I guess you could say the hospital has grown with the town, and the facility that we have at the hospital now is certainly wonderful. I was on the general committee. I would have been in my 20s, I would say. Then I was vice chair with Bob Phillips. He was the backbone of the lodges there, and everybody just worked in together. We had to make the decision as to whether we would sell the wind tower, and we had to decide whether we were going to have a business in real estate or whether we would put our money into expanding the hospital. And it was a unanimous decision that they would sell wind towers and bring their money to the hospital. A lot of changes. We used to meet in his offices for the committee meeting. Bill was very direct. He knew best. The girls in his office used to have to trade in their metal ring around their rubber before they got a new one. So he was very careful. Bob was a gentleman. We used to sit together at the top. He was from MUIOOF, so he had a couple in his ranks that were hard thinkers and always seemed to come up with the right decisions. So you didn't rock the boat. He was a good chairman. Yes, he didn't stand for any nonsense. He was pretty straightforward. He didn't have a lot to say, but when he said it, it commanded respect. It was a good feeling that the staff had decided on the name of the new unit, that was the maternity unit. So I felt very humble that this had been entrusted to me. This day I was in the canteen and a lady came in and she said, "Maureen, when you're finished here this afternoon, could you come up and see my daughter? She's just had a baby and I'd like you to meet her." So when we were finished in the canteen, I went up to see her, and I walked in the door and the daughter looked at me. She looked at her mother, looked back again, and she said, "Oh, Mum, you're right. She's not up there." I feel that I have given my best to the hospital. It's always in the members' minds that this facility has grown from a house to a well-functioning hospital where people can be in a town, their hometown, and not have to travel to other places for treatment. Everything is here. The board has done a fantastic job.